आपण सुनुछंती 90.4 SOA Radio.
हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज आरजे आकृति एंड आपण माने सुनुछंती 90.4 SOA रेडियो. आपण समस्त को आज रही विशेष अध्याय रे खूब खूब स्वागत. फ्रेंड्स, विज्ञान आम जीवन रो गोटे जरूरी अंश. सब बेले सब क्षेत्र रे विज्ञान हमकु प्रगति आनी देछि. तेबे विज्ञानर अग्रगति सहित आमे मध्य आगकु आगे चलीचंती. एही विज्ञान क्षेत्र रे नारी मानकर सेतिकी मध्य अवदान रहिछि. नारी मानकर सामिल हेबा मध्य सेतिकी जरूरी. तेबे नारी माने एही विज्ञान क्षेत्र रे हेउ किंबा कोनोसी भी क्षेत्र रे जेतेबेले नारी माने सामिल होउछंती तांको बहुत सारा संघर्ष मध्य करिवाकु पडुछि. निजर नियम को उल्लंघन करी निजर प्रतिबंधक को भांगी से माने आगकु आगे आसीचंती. जियो माने सृष्टि करिथांती गोटे सुंदर दुनिया एवं सेई माने मध्य ए विज्ञान क्षेत्र रे बहुत ना करिछंती एवं आम मानकु खूब सारा प्रशंसा आनी देछंती. सो फ्रेंड्स, आमे आज सेमती ही किछि विशेष कथा को नहीं आलोचना करिबा. विज्ञान जुगरे विज्ञान क्षेत्र रे महिला मानकर अवदान, महिला मानकर संघर्ष को नहीं आज आमे आलोचना करिबा. तबे आजिर एही आलोचना चक्र रे आज आम सहित शिक्षा और अनुसंधान, डीम्ड टू बी यूनिवर्सिटी, ITER कॉलेज, SOA इंग्लिश कैफे रो 4 जण छात्र छात्री जोड़ी होइछंती, जो माने आमको विज्ञान क्षेत्र रे नारी मानकर अवदान, नारी मानक संघर्ष एही सब विषय रे बहुत किछि कहानी कहबा को जाउछंती. तेबे चलंतु आजिर अतिथि मानकु स्वागत करिबा एवं तांको पाखरु महिला मानकर संघर्षर कहानी, महिला मानकर अवदान प्रत्येक क्षेत्र रे कोन रहिছে से विषय रे जानिबा.
Hello, myself Siddharth Dash. I'm a third year CSE data science student from ITR SOA and I'm from SOA English Cafe.
Hello everybody, I'm Stuti Mishra. I'm from ITR. I'm in my second year. I'm doing my BTech in CSE with specialization in AI/ML and I'm from SOA English Cafe. Thank you so much SOA Radio for inviting us on this auspicious occasion.
Hello everyone, I'm Pratikhya Panda, currently a second year CSE sophomore at ITR, SOA University. I'm a member at SOA English Cafe, currently designated at the position of content strategist, and I'm really excited to look forward to this session and have a nice talk with you all.
Hello everyone, my name is Omshree Dash. I'm from second year BTech CSC Data Science. I'm a co-member of SOA English Cafe. Really grateful towards my club and SOA Radio for giving me this platform today. Thank you.
So today's day celebrates the hard work and the contributions that women have made to the field of STEM. In a matter of days, we would be celebrating National Women's Day, a day which celebrates the birth anniversary of the Nightingale of India, Dr. Sarojini Naidu. And after that, we would also be celebrating the birth anniversary of Saint Ravidas. He was a poet saint who dreamed of a utopia and he painted a utopia with his words. Now, speaking of which, I would like to recite a few lines from his poem called Begumpura. The regal realm of the sorrowless name, they call it Begumpura, a place with no pain, no wrongdoing, worry, terror or torture. Oh my brother, I have come to take it as my own, my distant home where everything is right. That imperial kingdom is rich and secure, where none are third or second, all are one. They do this or that, they walk where they wish, they stroll through fabled palaces unchallenged. Oh, says Ravidas, a tanner now set free, those who walk beside me are my friends. A world free of torture and torment. Doesn't that sound a bit idealist? Well, it is in fact idealist. But if we consider the case of women in STEM, do this case scenario is suitable or can they relate to it actually? Well, I don't believe so. Often they face walls, they encounter invisible walls of stereotypes and biases. Talking about Begumpura, it's not only a dream, it is a challenge for us to provide women with such a world where they can safely roam around the streets.
After listening to Begumpura, what I inferred from it actually quite resonates with the modern day scenario and what actually women expect and wish how the present should be for them. Begumpura talks about a utopia where no fear exists, nobody is ever afraid, nobody is ever scared to be on the streets. So I think women also believe that they don't have to call their friends at night that I am safe. They don't have to say that they don't have to share their location wherever they go. It talks about political liberty. It talks about the liberty of taking their own choices. Are women really guaranteed that? Whenever a woman chooses something, she has to always be answerable to a certain set of people who need to validate before she takes any decision. It talks about lack of a social hierarchy. Talking about hierarchy, isn't patriarchy a form of hierarchy as well? Patriarchy in itself, it talks about how the male kind is superior to the female kind. So there is hierarchy. If we talk about the vision of Begumpura essentially advises that patriarchy should not exist. And how is a world perfect where one side is completely using the freedom, is enjoying the freedom, while the other side is actually fighting for it? We as women in daily life, like now also, we have to talk about it, we have to discuss about it, we have to ask opinion about it, that we need freedom. Isn't freedom basic? Isn't validation basic? Isn't mere recognition of what we are doing in our natural senses basic? Begumpura talks about economic liberty. Do not the women deserve equal wage for the work they do with equal potential as their male counterparts? Begumpura talks about the liberty of taking every decision, be it financially, be it occupationally, be it in daily lives. A woman taking the choice to be a housewife and a woman taking a choice to be a working woman. Why are these two things segregated into two different terms? A woman who chooses to be a housewife, why can't she be considered as a working woman? She is providing you thousands of hours of unpaid labor. जिस लेबर के लिए आप अगर किसी को हायर करते तो वो लाखों रुपए लेता जिंदगी भर में, वो जिंदगी भर वो काम फ्री में करती है. Isn't it, Pratiksha?
I surely agree to what Stuti just mentioned. Our society talks about women empowerment every day. Like we are having a discussion on it now. This similar discussion might be going on somewhere else in the world. But does choice come to females in the society for free? Do they not come with conditions mostly? When I talk about women in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it has three different views, three different conditions that are put on. For example, there can be a situation where the woman is said that, yeah, you can go and pursue your career in science or technology, but know that you will always be outweighed by the responsibilities you owe towards your family. The other perspective could be that you are ambitious, it's fine, we support you. But is the world ready to take your ambitions? Consider a fact, let's take for example the rural setup where women are not educated, but they have skills. I recently had a trip to the western part of the country, towards Gujarat, where they specify a particular form of sari, which is bandhani. How difficult it is to make, let me give a brief. They single-handedly they tie multiple threads, and they have to make a dye which has to dry as fast as it could and will have to stay intact for a very long period of time. Does this not require science?
Indeed, you were very much true when you said, shouldn't freedom be basic? Yes, freedom must be universal. In general, we believe that woman is the mother of civilization. Without her advancement, without her involvement, how can we reform a society? We can't make a bird fly with one wing. In STEM, when we talk about women and their opportunities, here women, her involvement, her interest, her success, her credits are not considered, are not celebrated. How tireless it would be for her to ride a journey with so much of tremendous mountains and then come to a place where she is not able to take the credit of her success. In STEM in general, it's not only a individual level discrimination. The discrimination is happening on the very structural and systemic level. The thing is that the entire world, India, even globally, things are structured on demands of the male dominated society. Their characteristics, their requirements are focused, whereas the unique challenges that the woman has to face somewhere is devoided. So how can a woman is always expected to adjust in those areas? Even when we see about the particular fields in STEM, STEM includes science, technology, engineering and mathematics along with it. In the recent research, we have got to know that there is significant dropout of women when it comes to streams like mathematics, technology and engineering. Why is it happening? Even if the population, like the enrollment is rising, but mostly it is populated on the biological or the life science part. Why is it happening so? When in general in households, women are considered to be entrusted with that they should handle the finance, they should balance the budget that shows their aptitude on numbers. Then why the society does not consider their potential in STEM field? Here the contrast is totally unjust. Quality education which was not so much accessible earlier. So these are the key initiatives, and lot more foundations and projects are being also placed to help these women, to encourage, empower them and add wings and let them choose whatever they want to without any limitations or barriers further. So Stuti, what do you feel about believe in this ongoing implementations of policies and all?
Actually, I quite agree with all of that information that was shared by Omshree. I'll just present some really verified stats from the internet that I collected. 28% of the entire workforce from STEM is women. Can you imagine a chunk as small as 28%? It is not even half, let alone half, it's not even 40%. 43% of the STEM graduates, okay, they are women. But again, only 16% of them are pursuing the further ventures in the field of STEM. मतलब ग्रेजुएशन तो ले लिया, लेकिन आगे की जॉब में सिर्फ 16% पीपल ही जा रहे हैं. What does that actually reflect? ये जो कड़ी है वो टूट कहाँ रही है? That's what we need to think. There are a lot of things that we need to ponder upon, because चीज़ों में gaps आ ही रही हैं इसीलिए because we are not thinking. Be it men, be it women, be it society, we are simply accepting the fact कि हाँ ऐसा तो हो रहा है. Women are accepting कि हमारे साथ गलत हो ही रहा है, अब रीत ही ऐसी है तो क्या कर सकते हैं. Men are accepting कि women तो ऐसी हैं, उनके साथ तो होता आया है, हम क्या ही बदल सकते हैं. As a man भैया, don't you ever feel कि हाँ मैं क्या ही कर सकता हूँ. In the end I'm powerless, because we feel we are powerless because we don't know how our power can be exercised. वापस आने के बाद उन्हें साइडलाइन कर दिया जाता है, या कई बार औरतें वापस आती ही नहीं. ज़रा सोचें वजह क्या है. बाहर वालों से तो उम्मीदें छोड़ ही दो, घर वाले भी ये कहने से पीछे नहीं हटते कि अब आगे जाके क्या फ़ायदा है, घर बैठो बच्चे संभालो. They often think that, they often advise that. सपोर्ट अगर मेरे होम ग्राउंड से ही मुझे नहीं मिलेगा, मैं बाहर जाके बाहरी दुनिया से लड़ूंगी कैसे, मैं अपना पक्ष रखूंगी कैसे. How would I stand for myself and claim that okay, I am still eligible to perform the task that I used to perform before being pregnant?
Bilkul, I agree with Stuti.
Financial independence has come as basic as food and water, because everyone wants to earn their own money so that whenever they spend it, they do not need to ask other person, can I spend this much? So when I talk about financial independence, I will quote a beautiful line which Virginia Woolf, a dominant writer, she has mentioned in one of her works, which was One's Own Room, where she mentioned that a woman should have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. Now, she mentioned fiction because she was a writer, of course, but when you hear the bottom line of this sentence, a woman needs money. Of course, for resources, she will always need money. Everyone needs it. And then she mentions a room of her own, where she is not just present, but she is also recognized for her talent. I can even talk about one of India's revolutionary writers, who I consider revolutionary because her words have somewhere shaped ideas in women of her region. She was Rokeya Shekhawat Hussain. Okay. She wrote a piece which was later published, like after a long time she wrote it, that was published in India's Ladies magazine. That article itself was titled Sultana's Dream. Now, why this particular article is special, let me explain that to you. Rokeya came from a upper class family, okay, and this dates back to the British colonialization period in India, where coming from a middle class family was also a big thing. She came from an upper class family, and she was given all the facilities she needed except for freedom of education. Her mother practiced the parda system, okay, and you see, we always teach children, right? ये पढ़ो या आगे काम आएगा, ठीक है, और इतना पढ़ो कि जिंदगी भर ना भूलो. She was made to practice parda system from her home itself so that she does any single mistake while following the same in her in-laws' house. How pity is this? Next comes a factor where women are questioned if you are capable of this. Are you serious you are going to do this? What is that? What is being serious? हमारे सोसाइटी में बहुत पॉलिसीज आई हैं वुमेन डेवलपमेंट के लिए, एम्पावरमेंट के लिए, मैनी. Okay, you will forever follow this pattern and see that we are also doing this. So I'm not degrading anything, but whenever a new policy for women comes, it's highlighted in a way that it is a boon to them. It is not their right. There are many policies for men as well. No one is denying to that, but that is a right for men and a boon for women. So why this discrimination comes up? What do you say?
It was very brilliant of you when you figured out that what are the problems women are facing. If we dissect it further, between women in rural and women in urban, then in rural the challenges are very much acceptable, common, basic again, that because of finance, because of the mindsets, all these scenes often are flashed across our screens, that a 10-year-old girl is marrying a man twice her age. A girl is watching her brother go to school as she prepares another day of housework. When it comes about budget and finance, parents prioritize boys' education more and leave here is where a girl has to sacrifice her dreams because of her brother. These are the issues, but as we celebrated the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, there where it make a significant impact on people's mindset about how they should prioritize, empower and focus and consider girls' education, because education is no more an additional facility. It is the oxygen 2.0 for women today. We need to realize that thing. In urban, finance is enough. It's okay that women are getting opportunities, access to education is rising. But what about those patriarchy mindsets? What about when they are not allowed to enter those same particular fields? The basic idea goes that they are not suited for this mathematics, numbers and engineering field. Why? So what is exactly happening is people here, women, are not facing just one bias but multiple bias against them. This constant battle against discrimination leads to the imposter syndrome. They affect highly, they make women doubt about their capabilities. They feel that their achievements, their accomplishments are not really that much worth, and this is how they doubt themselves. But again, to contradict them, there are enough of, maybe few in numbers, but these are the powerful voices who have paved ways for many other women. Dr. Aditi Sharma, she is specializing in the field of AI. So she has here her opinions about how she fought through all these battles again and again, and how she's still excelling, her work is being reconsidered. So what's your take on this, Stuti?
I would actually pick up from the fact that you mentioned that क्या फेस करना नहीं पड़ता. गांव की औरतों की तो बात हुई ही, शहर में न जाने क्या क्या औरतें फेस नहीं करती. ग्लास सीलिंग हो गया, ग्लास क्लिफ हो गया, और न जाने क्या क्या. ग्लास सीलिंग अर्थात लीडरशिप के पोस्ट पर जाने से पहले औरतों के ऊपर आने वाली सारी अड़चनें, चाहे सवाल हो गए, उनकी कैपेबिलिटीज़ पर डाउट करना हो गया, उन्हें चांसेस देना ना देना वो भी सोचना हो गया, उन्हें उनकी कैपेबिलिटी पर इवैल्यूएट नहीं किया जाता. इंटेलेक्ट इज पैरामीटराइज्ड टू देयर जेंडर. इजंट दैट स्टर्न इनजस्टिस? खुद एक औरत होने के नाते मेरा ये मानना है कि अगर परिवार का सहयोग रहा तो क्या मुमकिन नहीं है. क्यों सिद्धार्थ? जब परिवार वाले ही पीछे से तुम्हें आगे बढ़ने का पुश दें, when they encourage you, when they recognize your potential, that you can actually do something significant, you can actually make some significant contribution, who is there to stop you? I'll talk about my mom. My mom, she is a genius in maths. Okay, she is a genius in maths. उन्होंने मुझे 8वीं क्लास तक पढ़ाया है, लेकिन उन्होंने पढ़ा क्या है? आर्ट्स. क्यों? घर वालों ने कहा कि साइंस का ट्यूशन लेने के लिए दूर जाना पड़ेगा, आर्ट्स ले लो.
बिल्कुल स्तुति, हम आपकी बातों से बिल्कुल सहमत हैं. आपने जैसे कहा कि राजा राम मोहन रॉय, वेल, सो वाज गोपाल राव जोशी. He supported his wife in, his wife is Anandibai Joshi, Anandibai Gopal Rao Joshi, who was India's first doctor in Western medicine. He supported his wife to gain basic education, then through Western education and what not. Well, he was a model in his time. He was an idol. He was an idol for the people of his era. Well, as I prior mentioned, okay, let's take one more case scenario. Many of us have watched that movie Barbie, the one featuring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, right? So the character Ken is often considered as a side character. That yeah, ये तो है ही. Ken is Barbie's male counterpart. Yeah, ये तो है ही. But a major portion, a very important portion, the people miss that idea is Ken is not merely a side character or some male counterpart. He is the greatest supporter of Barbie, and that movie was successful enough to portray that. Well, there were obviously some misconceptions and miscommunications between Barbie and Ken, that matriarchy, patriarchy and whatnot. But eventually, both of them realized the importance of each other and they decided to coexist peacefully. Well, since we are talking about peacefully, as I mentioned prior in the poem of Saint Ravidas, the Begumpura, I believe that we have quite not achieved Begumpura yet. The vision of Begumpura is still relevant today. It's about thinking that how women are still shackled by the norms and by the heteronormative norms and the societal pressure that we have created for them. And they are still being shackled and held down, and every bit of information is gatekept from them. Is being gatekept from them. We often encounter women who are being held by the societal norms and how every bit of information is gatekept from them by the men, by the majority of the men of the society. And I believe that we have not quite yet were successful enough giving them, in providing them with the Begumpura that we promised, that Saint Ravidas promised. But I think that sort of gives weightage to our conversation today. And we four are gathered over here conversing about how women should be empowered, what policies are there, what existing policies, what norms are there. And as we discuss these, we sort of inch closer and closer to achieving that Begumpura. Now I believe that Begumpura is not merely a dream. I ponder over a question that what is there to empower? Because women itself is power. Shakti. Women is a form of Shakti. That how can you empower Shakti? There is nothing to empower. What you can do is give them a little push, because all they need is a push to break that glass ceiling, right? I believe that the whole point of this conversation that we are having today is to empower women, and with each and every idea that we have presented over the table today, we gradually inch towards achieving that Begumpura. Our first and foremost goal of creating this Begumpura, this utopia for women, is to empower women and make them break free. They cannot break free by them. They can, but we as a society should help them in attaining that Begumpura.
The necessary support.
Exactly, and we should facilitate them and help them get out of the underrepresented sphere that they are currently in. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद तुम समस्त को, बहुत सुंदर कथा कहल. सो फ्रेंड्स, आपण मैंने शुणुले आमर अतिथि मानक 4 जण छात्र छात्री सोआ इंग्लिश कैफेर जो मैंने आम सहित आज जोड़ी होते नारी मानकर प्रत्येक क्षेत्र में अवदान कौन, तांकर संघर्ष कौन, यही सब विषय से मैंने आलोचना करुले. वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को नहीं बहुत कथा कहले. तेबे मु आशा करुछि आजिर अध्यायटी आपण मानकु खूब भल लागिथिबो. महिला मानकु उत्सर्ग होइथिबा आजिर अध्यायटी आपण मानकर निहाती पसंद आसीथिबो. तेबे आज तो समय हे गलानी, मते विदाय दियंतु. मु पुणी थरे आपण मानक पई एही परि एक नुआ अध्याय नै आसीबी आउ किछि नुआ अतिथिक सहित. से पर्यंत सुनुथांतु 90.4 सोआ रेडियो.
आपण सुनुछंती 90.4 सोआ रेडियो.